I'm Eric, and this is a PIO vlog.
Aerial, medic, response.
We worked on fire, got heavy smoke from Highland Ranch and Broadway. Go ahead and upgrade the car. Copy. We got 4 buildings involved at this time. Collapse on 3 of them, and second alarm.
Second alarm.
Rescue 34, Tower 45, Engine 22, Engine 14, Engine 44, Engine 15, Medic 04, Medic 44, District 1, Battalion Chief 2, Safety 18, Metcon Ops 14, second alarm structure fire.
Hey everyone, welcome back for another vlog. I'm starting this one off at a different location than usual. I am here at South Metro's Fleet Bureau to give you a look behind the scenes at some of the new apparatus that South Metro is getting, and to have a chat with Matt West, one of the emergency vehicle technicians who helps keep our fleet on the road and gets new vehicles ready to go.
Hi, I'm Matt, and I'm here at Fleet. This is the new Engine 20, and I'm going to show you what we do to put a new unit in service. So the first thing that we do is we have a sheet here that we fill out all the unit information so that we can make sure that we've put everything we need to do on it, and also ordered the correct parts, and got all of the serial numbers and vehicle information so we can maintain it in the future. So after we fill out our unit sheet, which I haven't done yet, we're going to go through all the items that were written up at Pierce on the final inspection. One of our technicians and a few firefighters flew out there, and they've found quite a bit of items that need to be fixed or repaired by Pierce. So we'll just kind of go over those and make sure that they were repaired before it came out here. We also, a couple weeks ago, started ordering new parts for this unit. That includes tool mounting, hardware, electronics, tire chains. We have a parts list that I made in order to make sure that we have everything we need. And then yesterday I started putting in the dry deck, which is this stuff, and it's really great. It goes in all of the compartments, so I can show you that if you'd like. This is the engineer's compartment here. So we put the dry deck all down and trim it all to fit just nice and tight. And then we have photographs as reference for each compartment that we use to try and match all of the units the same. So this is for the engineer's compartment here that we'll try to match as best as we can with all the new components. And the same case with all of the other compartments. Here we got more dry decking, and then back here we have various equipment to mount. So we have a SCBA bracket here that will be mounted. We have a photograph for reference of that. And then down here there's a Blitzfire bracket that'll be mounted against the wall. So it's nice to have all of this so we can ensure consistency, so that any firefighter can open this compartment and know exactly where something is. So same with the extinguisher brackets that'll be down here. So we try to preload each compartment with the components we need to upfit it. And then the hose bed is obviously empty, so we work with the line and also logistics to order all of the equipment, including all the tools, hoses, everything that we need, and so eventually they'll come and load it up with hose before it goes into service. Once again, we have more photographs to show what will be in this compartment. This is where all the extrication equipment goes. So as soon as that shows, we'll go ahead and mount all that. This compartment is most of the work. So we have the tool board here. As you've seen on other units, this is what it looks like when it's all completed. So we go from a blank slate basically, and we need to mount all of these tools appropriately. And then flashlights. So we'll wire those up, hardwire them. And then we also have a Niederman plate for the magnetic anchor in the station. I'll hold the exhaust system on. So we usually wait until it's at the station to mount that so it's in the proper location. Back here, we have more photographs of different items, flashlights, and then we have helmet mounts. There's a life pack mount on the far side that'll go in. So a lot of little components that need to be installed before it goes into service. Same with the David Clark headsets. They just come loose in a box, so we have to put hooks up for them and test the systems, make sure everything works. And here, I was working earlier on the Knox box, which is a key box here that they keep their Knox keys in. And it has a flashing light circuit, so whenever the keys are out, the light is flashing, so they know my keys aren't there. I need to find them and get them back in there. Same with this is for the tri-band for the GTAC. This will be mounted right here. So we run all those wires and fab everything up that we need to. Up here there will be a tick holder, the thermal imaging camera, which we have a picture of. It's kind of hard to see there, but that carabiner is the handle hanging out the front. So we'll fabricate that box. So next time you see it, there will be a box there fabricated that matches everything else. So, and then this particular truck, like all of our new units, has a GPS Opticom system. So we will program that to this unit number so that when it goes through an intersection, it will identify the unit number for the system so that they can keep track of it. So we'll go ahead and do that right now. So we have the Opticom, GPS Opticom right up here, and then we have our BK radio. This is kind of a radio compartment. So there's the Opticom, and then this is the BK radio, the transceiver. We had a technician that would hand sew all of this webbing material on all of these compartments, which is obviously extremely tedious. So now we were able to have Pierce do that in our spec. Same with this large equipment box up here. This was previously built in-house. Same with the glove holders in front of it. Now we have Pierce build all of that. So it really saves us a lot of time. All right, so I'm going to connect to the Opticom here, and then I'm going to go ahead and release the parking brake and turn the Opticom on. That will power everything up. I have the wheels chocked already.
Engine 14, medic 32. Engine 14. We're clear on the location. 14 copies. Dispatch copies, location 1049.
So now it's powered up. As you can see, the lights are on it, which means I should be able to connect to it now. First Velocity chassis at South Metro that has airbags, which is a really awesome thing to have. So because of that, we have to mount the MDC a little bit differently. We can't have it extend in front of the airbag for safety of the officer, but it does have rollover protection with side airbags, side curtain airbags. So it's a lot similar to an automobile as far as safety systems go on it. It does have ABS, And this truck is neat because it has a totally redesigned HVAC system. It has a new defroster system that actually is tied off of the heater instead of just having two fans that blow air onto the windshield like the old units. This has real heat coming onto the windshield. That's a big deal. And this roll bar here is actually a water drain for the air conditioner because of the air conditioner, it accumulates water because of the heat exchanging, and so there's a drain that goes down to the ground. Previously, there was a lot of issues with that actually splashing water on the firefighters because they couldn't get the water out efficiently. Upfitting Specialist, I have quite a few projects going on. Obviously, the engine is my current priority. This is what I was working on before the engine showed up the day before yesterday. So this is the new Safety 35. And your old unit was really tired and worn out. And so we're building a new truck. And we were fortunate enough to purchase 3 of these 2020 police responder F-150s last year before they sold out. Otherwise, we would have to wait almost a whole calendar year because they just released the new 2021 this week. So the cool thing about this is we try to save as much money as we can anywhere but still keeping everything safe and the way that we spec it. So I was able to reuse a lot of the components from the old vehicle, like the console and the radios. Even the seat covers I was able to reuse. I was able to reuse a lot of components, but we also add new components. So we have a new inverter and solar panel. And all of this stuff isn't fully wired because we're still waiting for the bed slide and the topper. And some of these components will be installed in the topper. This is the box from the previous unit that we're reusing. We just add the fan back here, and then we'll add some additional paneling to seal this off totally from the cab to keep it as clean as we can inside the cab. So this is just a board I keep track of things on. These are all the new units that I'm going to be building currently, and then these are units that I still need to strip, and then we will be auctioning those off. And then these are units that are stripped and ready to go. And we're just, it helps us keep track of everything. We also have a calendar that some of our employees can log into to do upfitting work after hours if needed. So that's really nice to keep it organized. Well, thanks for coming by, and hope to see you more often, and I appreciate the time.
I'd like to give a huge thank you to Matt for taking time out of his day to show us Engine 20 and the new F-150 that he's working on, and hopefully I can convince him to be in more vlogs in the future. If you'd like to visit Fleet more often, then please let me know down in the comments so we can borrow more of Matt's time. If you're not from the Colorado Front Range, and I know we have viewers all over the world, you may not know that we had the 4th biggest snowstorm on record in the Denver metro area last weekend. Over 2 feet of snow fell in South Metro's district, and that means that our firefighters have to get a little bit creative in how they get to emergencies. Our forecasters knew that this event was possible, and they let people know many days in advance, which was a good thing. People were able to stock up on everything they needed so that they could stay at home and be comfortable. But sometimes we actually get an increase in call volume during these large snowstorms because people are missing doctor's appointments, or they can't get out of their home to go to the doctor or an urgent care, and they call 911 instead because they still need help. When this weather system initially came in, we were under a winter storm warning, and because of high winds, it was upgraded to a blizzard warning, which made things really difficult getting to people who needed help. All of South Metro's apparatus are equipped with tire chains, and those do a good job as snow starts to accumulate. But once the snowfall rates start to hit 1, 2, or even 3 inches per hour, there's just so much snow accumulating on the ground that the chains aren't effective by themselves. Our area has a long history of major snowstorms. The last really big one we had, which was actually the second largest in Denver's history, occurred in March of 2003. And in that storm, South Metro learned a really good lesson, and that was that we can use one of our aircraft rescue and firefighting trucks, Red 3, to get around very easily in the snow, access fire scenes if we need to, or whatever other purpose we find. And in one example, an ambulance from a private company was transporting a patient and got stranded in the middle of a major highway interchange. So this is I-25 and E-470 in Douglas County. This is a road that's very, very highly traveled by thousands of motorists every day. But again, because the snow was falling so quickly and the wind was piling up snowdrifts, it became this Arctic wasteland where no regular vehicles could access it. So Red 3 was used to actually pull the ambulance out to a safer location where they could continue their transport to the hospital. Many of South Metro's emergency vehicle technicians, who typically work at Fleet, staffed some of our snow plows. So a lot of you who follow us on Pulse Point or listen to South Metro on the radio noticed that there were plows in service. We had plows 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and those were representing the battalions that they were assigned to. So 5 South Metro snow plows geographically assigned throughout the area to help our medic units and fire engines get to the emergencies that are occurring. They also were able to back up a private contractor who typically snow plows in front of the stations on the apparatus aprons and also in their parking lots. It's also very beneficial to have our emergency vehicle mechanics on site and on the road already, because these conditions can be quite difficult on our larger apparatus, and sometimes they get stuck or experience other mechanical failures, and in those instances, somebody is available right away in each battalion to assist in making sure that those apparatus stay on the road and are available to respond. Some of you also saw TRV 46 or Tracked Rescue Vehicle 46 responding to calls during the blizzard as well. That is our most specialized snow response vehicle, and it stayed busy, responding to multiple calls throughout the day. It ended up in the higher terrain of Douglas County initially, where the snow was accumulating a lot more heavily, but wound up in the metro area there along I-25, assisting motorists who were stuck in the snowbanks as well. If you're interested in TRV 46 and all of its capabilities, we gave an in-depth tour on a Fleet Friday episode. Just click this link up above and it'll take you there. Although this blizzard made history and left a very big impact in South Metro's district for a couple days, it was not nearly as bad as the March 2003 blizzard, which actually caused a few different roof collapses at businesses, especially gas station awnings or smaller commercial structures like convenience stores that have flat roofs. The weight of that heavy wet snow was just too much and collapsed some of those buildings. And we actually have a really interesting video from Andy Lyon, who was the public information officer here at South Metro at the time. He was videoing the inside of a store with a partial roof collapse when the whole thing collapsed on video right in front of him in the doorway to this store. It's pretty amazing. Thankfully, Andy was not injured or trapped when that occurred, but it gives you a perspective on how much of a serious problem snow can be for us here at South Metro. And now for something a little warmer than the blizzard. South Metro firefighters have been participating in coordinated fire attack training at the Troy Jackson Training Center over the past couple of weeks. This training involves a classroom setting that discusses the underwriters' laboratory studies on the effects of ventilation and cooling of fires when firefighters arrive. A big piece of that is transitional fire attack. And we've gotten comments on a lot of our videos on exactly what that is. And it's when firefighters arrive, encounter fires showing from a structure, it's visible and coming out of doors or windows, and firefighters apply water briefly from the exterior before they make their way inside. The act of applying water is dramatic in reducing the heat inside of the structure, which makes it more survivable for occupants who are inside, and certainly makes it more tenable for firefighters as they make the push from the front door or however they're accessing the structure to get to the seat of the fire, and they apply water on the way. One of the training props that was constructed at the training ground is mimicking a well-involved room inside of a building, and firefighters practice their fire attack while going down a constructed hallway and knocking down the smoke and heat from those gases that are escaping from the room on fire. Using thermal imaging cameras, it presents a real-world example on just how dramatically those temperatures drop, making the conditions inside better for everyone.
Watch those temperatures build up on the lid. Watch that heat signature go out the hallway. And then when they start flowing on the next one, check out the difference in temperature both in the hallway and in here. If they're whipping that nozzle around appropriately, we're gonna see the smoke and fire push right back into the fire because they have so much air entrainment coming with them. It'll be like 70 or 100 degrees in the hallway. Like, they have no idea that it's 1800 degrees in here. See this smoke on me? You guys see that smoke getting pulled in? What were the temperature differences?
Couple hundred degrees.
Yeah, several hundred?
It was like 120, 130 out here, and then it was 500 up top.
Then the other thing is right now, look how quick it just built up. We're probably almost right back to where we started with temperatures, right? That's just reinforcing when we're doing that transitional attack, whether from the inside or from the outside. You only have so much time to get back in there, right? We got to have a plan for that second nozzle to get to the seat of the fire quick.
Another aspect to this is ventilation, and one of the many ventilation tools in our firefighters' toolbox is vertical ventilation. That's when firefighters go to the roof of a structure, cut a hole in the roof, and also make sure that there's no drywall left between the attic space and the involved rooms down below, which effectively creates a chimney and lifts all of the smoke, gases, and heat off of potential victims and off of the firefighters who were inside doing work, and it shoots it out through the roof, again, just like a chimney would. That takes careful coordination and good communication between the crews inside and the crews on the roof, and that's exactly what was being practiced. During this portion of the training scenario, firefighters are sounding the roof with their hand tools, and they're gauging how it feels to go from an area of the roof that is safe to walk on versus an area of the roof that has been adversely affected by the fire and is no longer safe, posing a risk for firefighters to fall through. Knowing the difference in how that feels, especially on a dark or smoky roof under intense firefighting conditions, is vital to their safety. All right, it's that time for patch shoutouts, and thank you so much to the folks who have sent these in. The first one that I have is from Italy. Check that out. I think that might be the first one that we've received from Italy. Next one I have is Hay River Fire Department. I've got Taos Fire Department, a little closer than Italy. This next one is from Manton Fire Department. Baker's Fire Rescue, number 19. This one is a peace officer from Hay River. I've got Bloomington, Indiana Police. This one is a personal favorite of mine. Hearst Extrication Tools. No relation, but that would be pretty rad. Sugarloaf Fire Rescue. Harwood Fire Company. This one is from Barker, Texas, and dropped off at our headquarters building from a visitor, so thank you so much for stopping by with that. And this one is from one of our local fire buff groups, 5280 Fire. If you haven't checked out their website, there is a ton of South Metro and other fire departments from around the state of Colorado that you'll find there. I've got one last patch to shout out, and this one's been hitching a ride in my bunker coat pocket for a few weeks now. It was actually gifted to me on scene of an incident by one of our local sheriff's offices. This is an Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office patch. So I've never gotten one on scene before, but that was awesome, and always good to meet fans of the vlog. Thank you so much to everyone who continues to watch our videos literally around the globe. It's the coolest thing ever. Please continue to like our videos and share them, and leave comments for us and suggestions on what you would like to see around South Metro, and we will show you anything that we possibly can. Until next time, stay safe and be healthy, and we'll see you later.